What's up, guys? How you doing? It's your homeboy Cowboy Crunk coming to you from Kabul, Afghanistan, your war daddy, trying to break down this damn Ezekiel Elliott situation, and it, the drama just continues. We really haven't heard anything in the last couple days. I just wanted to give you guys my perception of what I think's going on and how this is going to end up going down. Right now, I don't see a lot of hope for this situation getting resolved before game one, if at all. The main reason Ezekiel Elliott is holding out, guys, is because of his contract year this year. This year, Ezekiel Elliott is scheduled to make right under $4 million. So he's not going to play a year of football for $4 million. If the Cowboys don't do a deal, he will hold out. And I'm sure he will hold out the entirety of the season, and that's what we're going to look like. We're going to be looking like, damn, we'll be looking like, oh, shit. But, guys, if the Cowboys don't do something, that's what's going to happen. Ezekiel Elliott will not play. He will not play for $4 million, and the reason is the running back position, he takes so much wear and tear. It's just not worth it. There you go. Them hot boys are going to have to step up. But the thing is, he's making less than $4 million this year. You're looking at 300 carries. 300 carries, maybe 70 catches at least. And then some people aren't adding in there the pass protection he has to do. A lot of times he's picking up blitzing linebackers, blitzing defensive ends. He does that about 100 times a season. So, guys, you're talking about close to 400 touches on the ball, and you're talking about 100, over 100 probably blitz packages that he has to pick up. Those are brutal, guys. This is a brutal sport, and the running back is playing, Ezekiel Elliott's playing the most brutal position probably in all of sports, so he's not going to play for $4 million. I understand the reason he's sitting out. Next year he's scheduled for around $9 million, a little over $9 million, and in the next 2 years the franchise tag would be 11 and 11. So, but we're not at that point right now. We're at the point right now. Ezekiel Elliott, will you play for $4 million this year? And he won't. So now you've got to look at what's going to happen with Dak. Is there going to be enough money on the table if they can get Dak and Cooper signed, which are our priorities? We've got to do those first because this is their year. We don't do them now, then they could go onto the free agent market and check things. So we've got to get that done. We've got to get those two guys done. Is there going to be money left on the table? A lot of this is going to depend on what Dak requests. Dak Prescott requests. If Dak Prescott sticks with his number, sticks with what he wants, we're not going to have enough for Ezekiel Elliott. What will happen is he will end up sitting out this year, and it'll add a year onto his contract because he's already missed the August 6th deadline, or he will miss the August 6th deadline for sure. And then he'll just sit out a year. The thing is, he'll have that year on the end of his contract. He's only, running backs only play till about 30. So if he takes a year off, it doesn't hurt him. He'll probably play till he's 31. The reason they stop playing at 30 is just the tires are done. They're gone. They're bald. They're worn out. So if he doesn't play this year, he comes back next year. He misses the $4 million year. He plays for the $10 million next year, and then they franchise tag him twice. That's the worst case scenario, and he would do that. I think he would have to do it. He's not going to not take any salary and sit out, just quit football. He's under contract. We have that. We have him locked. There's nothing he can do about it. The only thing he can do is sit out and say, I'm not playing for $4 million. Now, if we get a contract rolled out and we can do something better, I hope we can. I want him here. Of course we do. Do we make the playoffs without him? It's going to be close. Do we make the playoffs with him? But we know what we have when we don't have Amari Cooper. We have no passing threat. Now, some of these rookies could step up and help us out a little bit, but without Amari Cooper, we do not have an X receiver. We do not have anyone to keep that it's going to change the whole game of having Amari Cooper and not having Zeke. Not having Zeke, we will probably have a 7-man front on defense. 99% of the time, they're going to be doubling Cooper, which could be a problem. So we're going to have to do well in the run game. We're going to have to draw the 8-man box every once in a while at least. Hopefully our line can do that and step up. But, guys, that's the situation right now. I don't see Ezekiel Elliott playing this year for $4 million. That's completely off the table. So if a deal doesn't get done, he sits out the season. That's the way I see it. And the only way I see a deal really getting done is if we go 2 games into the season and we're 0-2, and they think that we've got to get Ezekiel Elliott back and get him on, and then they're going to have to find out a way to pay him. And this could prolong Dak getting his deal done. If Dak is holding out on that high number and they can't get something done with Dak, they may say, hey, man, well, what do we do? If Dak comes down, if Dak really comes down and they can get Zeke, that's a good deal. We get Dak done. There's money left to get Zeke in the mix with Amari Cooper. But guys, that's the only way it's going to happen is if Dak comes down. They've got to pay him first. And then Cooper, the same thing. If Cooper may have to drop his price a little bit to fit Ezekiel Elliott in, but that's the only way. These two guys coming down a little bit, and like I've been saying from the beginning, guys, it's kind of good we've got the 3 of them coming at the same time because we can play them off of each other. They can go to Dak and say, "Look, man, we need you to sign this, or we won't have Zeke this year." That's just the bottom line. If you don't sign this, if you don't sign for this number, you don't sign for 29, 30, right in that ballpark, we won't have Ezekiel Elliott this year. Next year, Ezekiel Elliott will play for $9 million, but he's not going to pay for 3. So what would happen is he'll play for 9, and then he'll maybe get franchise tag, or they'll do the deal next year when they have the money. But he will not play for $4 million. There's no reason to. He's going to do more damage to his body than the $4 million is worth. He have to get $4 million in massages, for what the amount of the balls he's going to carry, the amount of passes he's going to get out of the backfield, and then this, picking up the blitzes on pass. On the pass rush. So that's where I stand, guys. That's just what I think's going down. I feel really bad for Ezekiel Elliott. That's just the nature of the beast with the running back. Like I said, guys, check out my videos. That's why I've been saying the whole time Jalen Hurd really did a smart thing. The running back out of Tennessee that changed to wide receiver before he came into the draft. He did 1 year at Baylor as a wide receiver, came into the draft, got drafted in the 2nd round. Now he'll play 12 years, 12, 13 years versus, 7 or 8 years for a running back. And then they've got you on a rookie deal that really could roll out 7 years. So they screw these running backs really bad. To have a 7-year contract, basically, you got a 5-year contract. Well, you got a 4-year contract, basically. All rookies get a 4-year contract. All rookies. Then there's a salary cap for the rookies, so they only get paid a certain amount. The last rookie to really get paid big numbers when it was in 2010, before they changed the rule, Matt Stafford and those guys were getting big contracts, $78,000 over 6 years, and you could get a 4-year deal or a 3-year. Now, all rookies, 4-year deal. There's a salary cap for your rookies. You're only going to get paid so much. The next year in 2011, Cam Newton was the first rookie under that design contract that we're using now, and he got $22 million for 4 years. Big difference than $78 million for 6. Big difference. So that's the way the rookies are now. They get that 4-year deal. If you're a first rounder, they can also give you a 5th-year option, and then they can franchise tag you twice. So you're looking at a 7-year contract. 7-year contract. You're basically a running back on the downhill side of his game. So Ezekiel Elliott's in a bad situation. The only thing he can do is sit out this year. It's going to roll another year onto his contract, but that year, instead of getting paid $4 million like he would this year, it's a franchise tag, which will be $12 to $13 million by then. So sit out for $4 million, add the other year onto the end of your contract, and you're making $13. So that's the way I see it. That's why I say if we don't get Dak signed soon, if Dak doesn't leave money on the table, we don't get Amari Cooper signed soon, he has to leave a little money on the table. They can get Ezekiel Elliott done. If those two things don't happen, they do not sign Zeke. He will not get signed before Dak Prescott, and he will not get signed before Amari Cooper, because they have to have those two guys. That's where it is, guys. Cowboy Crunk, that's my opinion. That's the way it's going to go down. Watch and see how many times have I been right. Take care, guys.